Um, what's up, everybody? Reporting live from Uptight Country, USA. Well, at least the sun's up, even though it's cold outside. Well, it's a nice, beautiful day. Hopefully, everybody's doing good. It's been a minute since I've gone live on Facebook, so let me give it a shot now. I got some time. It's one thing I've noticed ever since having to go back to work full time more. It's got a lot less time to do a lot of other things that I used to do all the time. So to those who still have the privilege of being able to work from home, much love and respect to you, because I feel like an old person saying, man, those were the good old days. Because they truly, truly were. Just have this sit up here for a second, multitask. But yeah, those are the good old days. Being able to sleep in a little bit more, not having to rip and run, all that good stuff. So this video is basically somewhat of a part 2 to what I did on my YouTube channel. If you have not, I'm live on Facebook now, but if you have not, please go to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button for Larry's Anything Goes LLC. Once again, Larry's Anything Goes LLC and Patterson L Properties LLC. Check out some real estate content, check out some content about certain issues facing the nation and the world, and talk about some money moves all at the same time. So the main reason why I'm making this live today is just because, I was talking last night in regards to how people are more on edge nowadays, and people are not as content with their lifestyle, or just content, period, because, people are having to work more for wages that haven't kept up with inflation for years now. And of course, whenever somebody talks about anything financially or anything nowadays, I want to make it political. And I always say, and I'll say it again, I don't do Democrats or Republicans, I do checkings and savings. Red versus blue means nothing. Only color in this country that's always mattered since the inception of the United States of America has been the color of money. No matter what color that money may be, because it wasn't always green, but the color of money, the color of assets and goods and services and whatnot, exchange of goods and services and things of that nature, that has always been the thing and the color that counts the most, regardless of anything. Case in point, there was the stories that aren't even told a lot about when during the times of legal slavery in the United States of America. Black slaves sometimes were able to save up enough money if they worked enough odd jobs on the side to get paid, if they could find enough odd jobs on the side to get paid, to buy their freedom, because they were considered an asset / a commodity, and the slave master purchased them. Now, obviously, the slave master would be like, hey, well, I want to get my return on my investment either through your labor or through some money. And even then, that's how a lot of plantation owners was able to put insurance policies on their slaves in case their slaves ran away or their slaves died and whatnot. They were able to collect, because everything is a commodity, regardless if it was in the White House, governor's house, or mayor's house. Everything's a commodity, and everything that we do in this life, somebody can capitalize on. Great case in point, I'm in a car right now. When there's a maintenance issue, somebody's able to capitalize on it when I have to get some maintenance work done. Case in point, the county I live in, they'd have a personal property tax on all vehicles, so I have to pay a personal property tax on my vehicle every year. Case in point, if I have to get gas, I got to put money in my car. That's somebody's capitalizing off that they own a gas station. Case in point, if somebody wants to be able to owns an insurance company, my car has to legally be insured. So somebody's capitalizing on the insurance money. And that's just me talking about my car. So hence the word capitalism. Somebody's going to capitalize off you one way or the other. Okay, because case in point, say if you're even a homeless person, you end up getting locked up. It used to be, but certain states and certain counties and whatnot, you receive a significant amount of money in regards to having prisoners and whatnot. Or you have these things called prison labor camps. A lot of states have it where they have these prisoners do work for the county, and therefore the county and the state saves money, or a corporation capitalizes off of prisoners working for them, so therefore that corporation saves money. Cheap labor. Illegal immigration, cheap labor. Everything revolves around the dollar. That's why we say make money moves or you're going to live broke like a fool, because everything revolves around a dollar, no matter who's in the White House, governor's house, mayor's house. And the sad thing is, in today's world, they don't talk about that enough, because, as I like to say, they just like to keep people distracted. Okay? That's just the best way to look at it. Keep people distracted, That way they're not worrying about what you're doing. So, but it is what it is. Anyways, so now I'm spending money because I'm driving my car, and a gas station will capitalize on that. Going to the store because I need product. If I ever have to make interest payments, I mean, heck, that's why. What is it? A bank that I use, and it was a $250 credit card. And I'm not even using the credit card anymore because they said, so remember, $250 in 2025, or heck, yeah, $250 in the last 10 years. So let's say 2015 to 2025 is nothing. You can wipe your butt, you can wipe your face with $250. Now, some people be like, well, I didn't get $250. Well, you got to figure that out, because you're borderline homeless if you ain't got $250 to your name. And that's another issue that's, facing a lot of working people. They ain't got $300 to $500 to their name to face an emergency. So that's why a lot of people get excited about, I might get a Doge check. And I wipe my face with a Doge check because $5,000 might be a savior to a lot of people, but to most regular working people, that ain't nothing anymore. That's a lot of people's regular monthly expenses. That $5,000 ain't gonna make you rich, Even if you can live in the cheapest state in the country, you can live in Wyoming, you can live in Arkansas, you can live in Mississippi, Alabama, where $5,000 will go much further than compared to the DMV area, California or New York. But $5,000 ain't nothing anymore. Certain parts of the country, that's somebody's mortgage. Certain parts of the country, that's somebody's rent. Especially if it's like New York City or the Bay Area. Heck, even in Washington, D.C., that's somebody's rent and whatnot. Like I said, you're going to what, fool? That's somebody's rent. So we just gonna keep it real. But for a lot of people, that check does come out. It'll help them pay some bills off. If the smart ones who don't have to worry about paying bills off, will put some money away. And then the other smart ones that don't have to, it's like, hey, if I know what I'm doing. I'm paying bills down and I'm putting money away and I'm investing into the stock market and crypto. So that's what I'll do with that. But is there really enough money for me to do all that? Not really. But for some people, everybody's financial situation is different. So I leave it at that. But case in point, like I said, main reason why I'm making this video is it's like lifestyle is more important than money. I always say the biggest money move to make is to have the kind of lifestyle that they've always dreamed to have. The church in my neighborhood. So hopefully everybody's getting a good word. But yeah, so anyways, at the end of the day, it's about lifestyle, and now people can't even think about lifestyle anymore because people have to worry about affording to just make it through the day. See, I've always been a fan of being able to save money, increase my income, increase my value, save money, invest money, and be able to live a lifestyle that I don't have to take a vacation from. That has always been the dream for me, slowly but surely getting there. But the thing is, it's just like being around people, because people are like, well, why do you travel so much? I said, well, I love to get new experiences. I love to network. I love to do business. I've made a lot of moves in life because of me just leaving my hometown a lot. I have more friends outside of where I live at than I do where I live at. I've met more like-minded people. They could live in Alabama, Mississippi, they could live in Georgia. Matter of fact, they do Arizona, California, Oregon, Washington State than I do in Virginia, where my home state is. And for me, it's just because it's all about energy. I really appreciate good energy. I want to be around people that can talk about things. Like where I'm from, a lot of times people, I call the DMV area people who retire at the age of 40 and 50. And when I say retire, I'm not talking about retire from their job, but they just retire from doing new things and gaining new experiences in life by the time they turn 40 and 50. And to me, that's just not living. But for them, that they feel like they've lived their life and they just want to do Netflix and chill, get their drink on, smoke weed, and binge out on Netflix and social media. And that's cool. I'm not mad at that. Because people say, when I say these things, they think I'm looking down upon that. I'm just like, that's what you want to do with your life, do what you do. If you feel like you've done everything you need to do and your life now just needs to be lived on social media and Netflix, have at it, man. Have at it. But me, I want to see the world. I want to gain more experiences. I want to connect with more people. I want to connect with more like-minded people. There's a big planet out here. There's so many things to experience. And, I've always appreciated the elders who were like, rest in peace to my Uncle Ashley. Great man. Roots come from North Carolina. Lived a good chunk of his life in Connecticut. Vietnam War vet. I believe he was drafted into the United States Army. But long story short, the man lived life. And he was, out of all my uncles, I admired him the most because he lived his life. He lived his life on his own terms. And he was unapologetic about it. And that, like the fact that he was going let's think about this. We're talking about the late 90s, early 2000s. The fact that this man was going to Colombia, Brazil, where else? Mexico, when it wasn't, too popular for Americans who weren't of Hispanic ethnicity or Portuguese or Brazilian ethnicity to travel to these countries. He did it. Canada, Australia, Europe. My uncle worked hard and played hard. In a sense, I feel like I lived through him because I do the same thing. My uncle worked hard and played hard. He's a homeowner. He's a family man. And when his daughter came of age and graduated college, he's like, all right, I'm gonna start living my life now. And I always admired that. See, the thing is, the youth always admires what you do, not what you say. And I never admired a man who was braggadocious about the kind of house and car he has, because I have uncles like that, and that was always okay, great. What is that doing for me? Not a darn thing. Those are things. Those are not experiences. Okay, so that's why I was just like, that was always a real big turn off for me. All right, so my uncle actually was like, I work really hard because I like doing these specific things. He was a great male figure in my life because my father passed away when I was 2 or 3 years old. So it goes back to, it's not about what you say, it's all about what you do. When I was down in the Best Fest down in Atlanta last summer, shout out to my EY University folks. Shout out to everybody that I met down there from all over the country and even certain parts of the world. People, the young guys, it was like, because I'm 42 now, it's like, you're my OG, the guys in their early 20s. And we was talking about real estate investment, business investments, business benefits that one can get by being in the military or having an association with somebody in the military, having a connection with somebody who can get you into Navy Federal or Pentagon Federal. Because a lot of times if you have an association or an account with a credit union, you can get more access to capital than you can with a commercial bank. But there's various different avenues that one can get access to capital with a commercial bank and a credit union. From a personal bank account, from having a business bank account. So we was having those conversations. And moral of the story is, when the younger generation was talking to me, I'm a simple guy. I don't own a watch. I ain't got no rings. I ain't got no jewelry, and I'm not mad at anybody who does. I'm very simple. The only expensive thing I really like to do is travel. I don't need to floss in any other way, but get my butt on the airplane and get off the East Coast and go see another part of the country and go see another part of the world. And it ain't even a flex to me. It's an experience that I want to have. So anyways, the youngins was like, they looked me up on social media and they were like, man, I see you travel a lot. I said, that's the one thing I love to do. I like to get away from the DMV area. Ain't nothing going on in the DMV area but some uptight people and a job. I've been here and done that. I was born and raised here, so I'm cool. And they was just like, but I thought you was broke as a joke. I said, why is that? And they was like, because you didn't have any fancy clothes on, no jewelry on, you weren't bragging when we were having a discussion about business and investments. I said, well, that's just not who I am. My mindset is, your actions should speak louder than your words. If you got to do a lot of talking about who you are and what you got, then you ain't really got jack, in my personal opinion. You're just looking to get some shine, because you lack confidence in other areas. That's just my personal opinion. I could be wrong, but because everybody's different, but that's just my opinion on the situation. But anyways, case in point, moral of the story is, I didn't even realize it was like, hey, you're my OG, so I'm looking at you like, hey, because especially with today's younger generation, for them it's all about, hey, what kind of lifestyle are you living? Because most of these young people nowadays, the 20-somethings in 2025, they just want to live a lifestyle that they don't have to take a vacation from, bro. Should have parked on the other side. Yeah, they want to live a lifestyle that they don't have to take a vacation from, man. They want to be around a community of people that is happy in life, in love, making moves, etc. and so forth. Like that's the kind of energy that most young people are on nowadays. They're not tripping off of the fancy stuff. I mean, heck, nobody even really wears a suit anymore. Son of a So that's the biggest flaws. But at the end of the day, it's just about, the youth cares about what they see. They don't really care about what you got to say and whatnot. So, and if you're trying to dang, this joker, I'm sorry, I just parked at the store. It's been a minute since I've seen somebody pick up a cigarette from the ground and light it up. That's nasty as hell, man. I remember I was a teenager, used to see people do that. I was like, I know times are hard, but Lord have mercy. This joker literally just picked up a half-smoked cigarette off the street, and he just lighting it up. Anyways, all right, I lost my train of thought. But anyways, so moral of the story is, it's like, hey, lead by example or don't lead at all. Engage with people that are different ages than you are so that you can learn something new. None of us knows everything. We can all learn something new every single day. I know I strive to learn something new every day. That has always been one of my goals, and I just leave it at that. But in 2025, it's more of a FU generation right now. I think it always was, especially in the last 20 years, but it's just more in your face. More people have lost their jobs in the public and private sector, and more people will lose their job for years to come in the public and private sector, unfortunately. So it's definitely, before I end this video off, because I'm going to go in the store and I got stuff to do, find your tribe and create your corporations. I don't care if you got a business. I don't care if you're a regular working person. Find your tribe and create your corporation, meaning what does a corporation do? They have bylaws and whatnot. They have meetings. They're trying to increase the profits better than last quarter. They're trying to obtain better skill sets so that they can obtain more contracts, more productivity, more clients, et cetera, and so forth. Be around people that can talk about that more than they can talk about what the next football game is, the next Super Bowl halftime show is. And I love Kendrick's show. It was great, but I ain't going to debate about something that trivial for 5 hours. It ain't going to happen. Be around folks that are bringing new ideas to the table of your life, because most people don't even realize either you are or you're surrounded by liabilities, and you're not surrounded by assets. You're just surrounded by people that are sucking you dry or just happy with the status quo. The status quo is the main reason why a lot more people are and will be on unemployment, because nobody wants to think outside of the box. For regular working people, just having a job and raising a family is dead in the United States of America unless you got 3 to 5 families living up in a house, and I don't care if you live in Mississippi, California, or New York. Your friends and family should be talking about ideas about asset accumulations, getting information, capital, networking, and, going to events and doing things that involve businesses, investments, and obtaining skills that can take you to the next level. That's where we are in 2025, regardless who's in the White House, governor's house, mayor's house. I just think in 2025, the people that are in charge now are just letting you know this is what it is. So it doesn't have to be every man, woman, and child for themselves in today's world if you find the right tribe. This being solo, rich people aren't by themselves. So I don't know why working people, what's in the mindset of regular, everyday working people to think that they have to do it all by themselves. The millionaires and billionaires of today's world, not just the U.S., but today's world, have teams and groups of people that they are doing that they collaborate with in order to execute their whatever goals and aspirations that they have. So I don't know what this mindset in America that with us is just should be, I'm James and I'm just going to do it by myself, me and my family. You help setting yourself up for failure. James, who are your friends? And I hope you and your friends will talk about more than the Commanders and the Dallas Cowboys, Lord have mercy, and video games and comic books and movies, because that's useless information. It's cool to have some fun, but don't be a slave to useless information, because that's one of the biggest problems, and I'm guilty of this myself. So I'm not casting stones in a glass house. I'm guilty of this myself. Stop being a slave to useless information. Okay? I'd rather be addicted to useful information than be addicted to useless information. So on that note, don't forget to check out my YouTube channel, Larry's Anything Goes LLC, Patterson All Properties LLC. Do the great thiefy things, like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day. Make money moves, or you're going to live like a fool, as they say in Spanish. Bienvenido a la vida. Welcome to the life.